Okay, today is February 5th, 2021. Here's what we were looking at today. This was a range day. The overnight highs were obvious, but these lows were not so obvious because technically the overnight lows were. Oh, actually, I guess this would be the overnight lows if you're starting at. Well, I guess that's midnight Pacific time. So let's look. I guess overnight lows were really like down here. But yeah, you always want to look at those important price levels to determine if they're not going to the overnight lows, what other important price levels are there, and this is one of them. So um, prices bounced down here after it has moved down, almost made it to the top, but did not. And this bounce was probably from this level of resistance here. That was support. I guess it was like support here in this little micro range. And you do get an entry right there. And then prices just bounce around, but we form this level of support here. Prices go back up to the overnight highs and make a new high for the day, and then you get a nice lower high and this channel down. Doesn't look like there's much in here today, so it should move quick, but let's look at my live trades. I got caught in by, if your broker is Phillip Capital, you probably had the same problem. They had me going short on some trade all the way at like 38.30 down here. I didn't place that trade, so I clicked close up here, and that made me go long. And unfortunately, their mistake lost me $15, but that's no big deal. Anyway, so I wasn't able to trade here, but this is like a second entry short. When I finally got back into NinjaTrader and I was able to close that new position, I came in right here and I took, here's a short trap right here. People went long here and I took a first entry off the trend line. This was no good, and even though it's a great signal bar, it's just a first entry. So if you took the second entry, you would have been fine. However, by that time the trend line broke a little. Might be a little more shallow. So you might be a little leery of that. But anyway, you get a first entry, second entry. You get this break, and it looked like two legs down. This is one leg, and then it goes higher and comes down again. So I put my stop order right there because it was also off this trend line, this level of support. And that worked out. That was a good trade. But anyway, let's move on to the ES. So we hit these overnight highs, and you can actually get, I didn't even see this until now. You get this price level. It looks like the bottom of that range is right here. At the top of that range, look at that. You get a first touch, second touch, double test right here at the overnight highs. I like that. Plenty of room back to the EMA. So I'm gonna put that in there. That's a double test. And price formed like a little mini channel, and this right here, I think this is a first entry, second entry, failed second entry long. You don't really have this level of support down here just yet, but I like that it closes below the EMA, and you do get a scalp out of that. Then prices bounce here, make this leg up, breaks that channel, one leg down, second attempt to leg down, one leg up, two legs up to a new high, and they shoot down. I guess people were going long there thinking that you got this nice channel, and it's at this level of support. So people probably thought we were trending up all night, so we'd keep going. And that's why a bunch of longs must have got trapped, make that move down. Get some price acceptance at the bottom of that level. Comes to the EMA, shoots back down. And here, if you want to be really aggressive, and there is some hints that this might be an important price level, but you get this small, low-risk bar far from the EMA. It's only a first test of that level, but on a range day, that might be very important, a very important low. And it turns out to be. Unfortunately, I don't see anything you can enter on in here. When we get this break of the trend channel, it really only looks like one leg down. But we are expecting to make another leg or two legs up, and that would be the beginning of the first leg, second leg. I like this because this is actually a double test. I didn't see it until my analysis, but if you look at that price level, you get the first test or first touch, then this is the first test, second test, double test after a break of this trend and two legs up to the new high. And this looks like an important price level, and it's far from the EMA, so I like that. And bounces off the EMA, probably traps some longs, so it shoots down. And we get some price acceptance at this level that turns out to be an important level. Is that anything over here? Well, anyway, price bounce, they're just going back and forth around the EMA. I don't see anything in here that you can take. We go back up to the overnight highs, and you get, after this break, you get two legs up to a new high, and you get a lower high. And I like that a lot. Room back to the EMA. Clearly looks like a lower high. First entry, second entry, but this looks a little congested, especially with that doji right there. But that is a new high, so you get a first entry, second entry, and this just looks like a trap. But I did mark it as aggressive, one, because it's in the middle of this whole range, and we're going into this potential level of support. And once prices bounce here, I would feel pretty confident about this level of support. And that's why I marked this as aggressive. This nice signal bar, it's like a higher low off of that level of support. And then first entry, second entry. After the overshoot that leads to a break, you get a trap for longs that you might want to enter on. It is aggressive though. And that's pretty much all I saw. Now we have this range going on. Yeah, put it right there, maybe. And that's all I saw for today. So I hope you had a good week. Hope you had a good day. And I will be back next week.